Quinn Skyfall. The skybudgers arrive with the dawn, predictable as breath. Quinn Skyfall, adjusted my goggles, the polished brass cool against my skin. Another day, another cycle of credits and curiosities exchanged amongst the cloud cities. My platform, Ether and Coin, wasn't grand, just a stable patch of woven skysilk anchored to a particularly stubborn cumulus. But it was mine. I sorted the day's inventory, glowmoss from the azure fields, preserved storm fruit, a handful of memory stones. Routine. Comforting. I preferred the gentle rhythm of trade to the unpredictable currents of the upper atmosphere. Most days, it felt like a life held perfectly in balance. The anomaly began subtly. A flicker in the credit streams. A momentary stall in the automated transfers. Annoying, but not uncommon, atmospheric interference, usually. But then the errors multiplied, cascading into outright failures. A merchant from Silverhaven reported his entire shipment of sun crystals vanished from his account, poof, gone. Then another, and another. The whispers started. Ghost credits, sky pirates, a glitch in the weave. But this felt different. It wasn't random. It was targeted. And it was centered around the automated teller machines, the ATMs, that connected all the cloud cities. I couldn't ignore it. Not when my own transactions started to falter. My livelihood depended on those ATMs, on the trust they represented. Officially, I was just a cloud merchant, but my grandmother, the cartographer May Skyfall, taught me more than just the price of glowmoss. She taught me to read the currents, to see the hidden patterns. I decided to trace the flow of credits, to follow the digital trail. It meant leaving Ether and Coin, venturing into the less stable sky lanes, and potentially confronting something substantial. I secured my platform, packed my repair kit, and prepared for a journey into the heart of the anomaly. My investigation led me to the Grey Expanse, a region notorious for its unpredictable weather and unsavory clientele. There, I met Joreen, a former ATM technician, exiled for questionable modifications. He confirmed my suspicions. Someone was manipulating the ATM network, siphoning credits into an untraceable account. Joreen agreed to help, but warned me about the Collector, a shadowy figure rumored to control the Grey Expanse and its digital underworld. Our path wasn't easy. We faced static storms, data leeches, and the constant surveillance of the Collector's drones. I used my knowledge of the cloud currents to navigate, while Joreen worked his tech magic, disabling security systems and deciphering encrypted data streams. We almost had it. We traced the stolen credits to a hidden server farm nestled within a perpetual thunderstorm. But as we prepared to infiltrate, Joreen vanished. A coded message appeared on my data slate. They offered me a way out. I'm sorry. Betrayal stung, sharper than any static shock. The Collector's forces descended, cutting off my escape route. I was captured, my data slate confiscated, and left adrift in a deactivated skybargue. It felt like everything I'd worked for, everything May had taught me, was crumbling around me. I was alone, stripped of my resources, and facing an enemy who controlled the very network I depended on. While imprisoned, I noticed something strange. The Collector wasn't simply stealing credits. He was using them to build something, a massive data construct, a digital replica of the cloud cities themselves. He wasn't interested in wealth, he wanted control. And the key to his power wasn't in manipulating the network, but in exploiting a hidden vulnerability within the memory stones, the very foundation of our cloud-based economy. My grandmother's journals, which I smuggled with me, held the answer. She discovered a resonance frequency within the stones, a way to unlock their full potential, and, apparently, to corrupt them. The collector wasn't just a thief, he was trying to rewrite reality itself. I used my knowledge of the resonance frequency to overload the collector's security systems, triggering a cascading failure within his digital fortress. It was a desperate gamble, but it worked. I confronted him within the heart of his construct, a being of pure data, surrounded by swirling code. He underestimated me, seeing me as a simple merchant. But I was also May Skyfall's granddaughter. I unleashed a counter-frequency, disrupting his control and severing his connection to the network. The construct began to unravel, and the stolen credits flowed back into the system. It wasn't a physical battle, but a war of information, a struggle for the very soul of the cloud cities. With the collector defeated, the network stabilized. The stolen credits were restored, and the memory stones were purged of the corrupting code. The cloud cities breathed a collective sigh of relief. Jorin, consumed by guilt, resurfaced and assisted in repairing the damage, offering his expertise to rebuild the security systems. He wouldn't be forgiven easily, but his help was invaluable. The incident exposed vulnerabilities within the network, prompting a complete overhaul of the security protocols. The experience left a lasting mark, a reminder that even in the ethereal world of the clouds, trust was a precious commodity. I returned to Ether and Coin, but things were different. I wasn't just a cloud merchant anymore. I was a protector, a guardian of the network. I used my newfound knowledge to develop a security system for my platform, offering protection to other merchants. I established a network of informants, monitoring the currents for any sign of trouble. Life wasn't the same predictable rhythm it once was, but it was richer, more meaningful. I had faced the anomaly and emerged stronger, not just surviving, but shaping the future of the cloud cities, carrying on the legacy of May Skyfall, one transaction at a time.